Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So I think we can start. Welcome to this Sylva TSC meeting. First of all, I'd like to check from the voting participant. We have Team Orange, Deutsche Telekom, Ericsson. And I think that's all for the time being. So we don't have the number of members for the voting, but I'm not sure that we have any issue to be voted for today. So I don't think it is a problem. And we have other participants from Linux Foundation, from Red Hat, and Francesco, you are from, this is the first time you participated to the TSC?
That's correct. We
So
joined the foundation only 48 hours ago. The firm is called Control Plane.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Okay. Then I remind you that we are following the Linux Foundation policies, and on this link you can find all the rules. The next TSC will be in 2 weeks on the 6th of November. And from general news today, I don't think that we have any specific focus planned. But we will have in any way a full agenda, because we are adding a new work group to the family. So we will have a longer discussion on the work groups. But starting from the information from the board that we had last week, there is still a discussion on the priorities for 2025 that will be shared soon, I think. And the other good news is that we have a new member in the family of Sylva, Control Plane IO, with Francesco. And this is a very, very good news to have a new participant in the community. I don't remember if there is any other board information to be shared. I don't know if Guillaume or Naomi, if there is anything else.
I think that's it.
Okay. So moving to the governance topic, we have one important item to be discussed that regards the TSC chair elections. There will be in the end of the year the renewal of many positions, but in particular what is interesting for today is the elections for the new TSC chairs that will start their activity at the beginning of next year. So Naomi, if you want to explain the process.
Sure, of course. So as you all know, currently Carlo and Guillaume have been our co-chairs for about the last year. So we are going to kick off that new election for 2025 seats according to the technical charter, and I can drop the technical charter here, but The TSC will elect 2 TSC co-chairs who will serve for 1-year term or until their resignation or removal by the TSC. But just to make sure it's fair for everyone, we're just going to keep with that 1-year term. So now we're swinging into the time frame and we're going to launch that. So I have updated our MD file, the contributor MD file, to include the 2025 election timeline. I just think it's easier. I also send this out by email to the TSC, but just having it in the GitLab repo is, easier to reference. So today, since I'm presenting it, this is going to be like the nomination to the TSC members, and I'll start the call for nominations. Essentially, this is me notifying you and me sending an email. And on that, I have a submit your nominations form, which is open to anyone. You're more than welcome to nominate yourself or someone else. But if you do nominate someone else, I do ask that you make sure that they are aware that you are nominating them. What tends to happen on other projects is somebody gets nominated, they have no idea they've been nominated, and then all of a sudden they don't really want the position, right? So you want to make sure whoever you're nominating is on board with you nominating them. So that period would be, the nomination period will be open for a couple of weeks. And then after those couple of weeks, I send the list of nominees and a ballot to the voting TSC members, which are the 7 companies up there. That's also noted in the contributor file as well. So those people will be the ones who actually vote on who the TSC co-chairs are. The voting period would be open for about a week. And then I announce the election winners on November 19th. And then something that we're going to do a little different, it's almost like I'm prorating Guillaume and Carlos' time. So you all might remember that they started being co-chairs at the beginning of December. To make it easier, I'm going to extend it out until the end of December, so we can just have things within the actual calendar year versus being confused and starting like at the beginning of December. The governing board was on board with that as well. So that's kind of what we're going to do. But yeah, so really excited. Again, eligibility, anyone can be a co-chair. The technical charter does not limit who can be a co-chair. The technical charter only limits who can vote. So if you are a member of this TSC and you are interested in this role, feel free to nominate yourself. Carlo and Guillaume, if you're interested in continuing and you want to nominate yourself again, you can also do that. And I'm here for any questions that you may have.
Clear on my side. Crystal
Okay.
clear.
That's clear. I just see that it is a minor thing because I saw it after approving the merge request that there is a bit typo on my name in the table.
I think you fixed it, right? Oh, no, you didn't. I'll go fix that now.
Okay. So any question to Naomi for the process of the election? If not, then remember to candidate if you want, and then I will move to the work group 1 for the update, and I will leave the floor to Mathieu.
Thank you, Carlo. Hi, everyone. So the first things I'd like to share with you is that we are entering a feature freeze period, meaning that we, as of today, we are focusing in the dev team on stabilizing the v1.2, bug fixing, documentation, and we only agree on features related to tech previews that we've been announcing for v1.2, which is about being able to deploy OKD workload clusters and being able to use GitOps workflows. So as of today, focus is on stabilization. We keep the target of releasing v1.2 before the 8th of November. One thing I'd like to share and to have everybody agree on is that I'd like to change a little bit the roadmap. The main reason about this change is the fact that we are lagging far behind the Kubernetes releases. Within the v1.2, we introduced Kubernetes 1.29 that will be out of support beginning of 2025. So I'd like to have a next Sylva release pretty soon after this v1.2, so beginning of December, focusing on adopting Kubernetes v1.30. So this will be mainly what this Sylva v1.3 will be about. And then we will come back to our standard roadmap with the next v1.4 release in April 2024.
Matthew, I can share the PowerPoint if you can make it more visual. Tell me.
Yes, we can do that if you have it with you. So v1.3, as I said, focusing on Kubernetes 1.30 support. We may introduce new features, but it's more features that didn't make it for v1.2, but that are almost ready. Concerning security, especially with some capacity to do firewalling at the node level and to enhance the supply chain security for every Sylva artifact. But this is not the main focus of this v1.3 release. Again, it's focusing on 1.30. And then in the next slide, you can see that we go back to the normal with v1.4 that will introduce more features, talking about OKD integration, talking about switching from Vault to OpenBAO, some RAN features will be also concerned. We are going maybe to be able to introduce immutable OSes in this release, depending on the tests that we are doing. And so we also are going to introduce some tools concerning backup and restore. And of course, this release will also be about adopting and supporting GitOps workflow officially in Sylva. Do you have any concern about this change proposal?
Any comment? I think that in any case, as there is a change, even if a small change in the roadmap, we should approve it in the TSC. And I think that Luis joined, so we have the majority for voting. So from team point of view, it's okay, the change. For Orange,
it's okay.
Luis for Telefonica.
Okay.
And Norbert.
Fine, yes.
And Book for DT.
Fine by me as well for DT.
Great.
Okay, so I think that we have the majority of the voting members, so we can approve it.
Okay,
so
great.
we will have this intermediate version very quick in December.
I will release the roadmap also, the PDF part on the GitLab.
Yes, please.
Yeah, something that I didn't mention is that we'd like to introduce usage of stable branches based on v1.3 to be able to do backport bug fixes. we didn't do that for previous releases, but we need to do it for the future. So we'd like to start doing that with this v1.3. So it will open the door for v1.3.x releases, patch releases that will be only about bug fixing of v1.3.
Okay. So if there are no other comments, I take again the screen. And I would ask to Luis the update on workgroup 2.
Sorry, Vuk is also here. So if Vuk, you have some update on the HBR.
Oh, yes.
Actually, indeed, I thought to do it at the end, but you are right. We are kind of related with the working group 1 to some extent, but I could give an update at the end of the working groups status
Okay.
update.
That's fine.
Thank you, Guillaume.
So, Luis?
Yes, the validation center, the progress in the last 2 weeks. Basically, we are progressing with the validation. So the backlog was increased. We have now 4 workloads that we are validated in parallel, 2 in Telefonica and 2 in Orange. In Orange 2, I think, and in Telefonica 2 as well. And this is the one, and all of these include SRIOB, those in Telefonica. So we keep progressing in that. We plan to complete it. Actually, the BSR that is BSR from 6Wind is being revalidated here. So it was validated in one configuration, the orange one, and it's going to be the first one that is actually revalidated in another configuration. And I think we will have finished it this week, and we will start preparing the validation report. So progressing there. And actually, as part of these validation cycles for this one and also for the other one we are doing, the Fortinet, we are already using the new validation management platform, the one that Nearby is supporting us with. And this simplifies the way we deploy applications and the way we enter into the cluster to confirm it has been deployed, the application. So we are already introducing that. And something that we are working next, apart from completing the validations that are in progress, we are adding the one additional test, which is the platform upgrade without service impact. So once we have validated the 6Wind, we will upgrade the cluster to a different version just to confirm. Well, we will go up, of course, to confirm that the application supports the rolling upgrade that is required for that. And this is something else that we wanted to add in the validation cycles. That will be the first actually workload that is validated in different platforms and also completing the whole cycle with all the elements of validation. We plan to finish this in the next 2 weeks. And then we will look for new ones to be added. Okay. So when we finish this, we will have 4 more, probably in the next 3 weeks or so. We'll have 4 more already validated before the end of the year, for sure. 3 more or 4 more validated. That makes a total will make a total of 14. And that's it. But nothing else to comment.
Okay. Thank you, Luis. Any comment, any question for Luis for workgroup 2? If not, we can move to workgroup 3.
Hello.
Mihai.
Yeah. Apologies for not being able to update. I just joined 5 minutes ago because the security working group was still ongoing. The best news of the security working group is that just 5 minutes ago we finalized the first analysis of the UCS of the whole document, so all 600 requirements. And we are really happy with finally being managed to going through all of the documents and the requirements. What else has been done on our side is that we had 2 introduction meetings for security with FBKEU and NPCI. Basically, there are two research NGOs who are working on different fields from TLS to cloud security. And we had an introduction about Sylva and what exactly do we do in the security working group and what we are working on. And we are exploring points of collaborations of what can we share with them and how can they be involved inside the project. Okay, what else should be said as next steps? In terms of UCS, what we're going to do, we have two major things to do. One of them is to compare what we have analyzed with the latest version of the document, which was released by the European Union, because some things have been changed and we have to see the delta of it. And what we are going to do is that we are going to fine-tune the requirements which we have created, and soon we will start feeding these requirements towards. We will share them with the community and start to add these requirements also for the development working group, in order for them to prioritize them and start implementing features which are related to UCS. And that's about it. I will do the update of the Git also afterwards.
Thank you. Any question or comments for Mihai? If not, then we can move to work group 4.
Thank you, Pass. So we have so in the last meetings of working group 4 on sustainability, we have some updates from the team. So basically, Lamslow has finished the capital use cases publications and posted on a wiki page. Also coming up this Friday as 10 a.m. CET time, we have a Sylva and TSC mini workshop on sustainability. So if you are interested in this workshop, just let me know. The meeting is going to be virtual. There will be 4 sessions. One is the first section is we have a public wiki page on the agenda. Feel free to find it on the work group 4 wiki page. So technically in progress is Thanos installation is in progress. The idea is to have the aggregated data from different clusters. So that will be useful for the CO2 dashboard calculation. We have the green dashboards and metrics analysis also in progress. This will consist of a data model upgrade that we are using different sources of information and a methodology to calculate the energy consumptions by different linear functions. We also have some progress. I think we also hear something from Orange on the green scheduler. I will provide more updates once we hear it in the next session. That's from us. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Any question for workgroup 4? No. So
I will share the link to the agenda of the TSC mini summit if you want.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we can then move to workgroup 5, communication and adoption.
Hello,
Andre,
refresh the page, Carlo.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I don't know if Andre is there. If not, that
hello. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I didn't see you.
Yes, we can.
You can hear me? Okay. So Nicolas also we did a joint update.
Double update.
On the fly. Double update on the fly. So the the Network X event, we were represented with Stefano Martins, with the Sylva on the headline stage, with Julie, Anand Garcia, Rand Polak, Nicholas, Tim Irish, in the Etsy Sylva NFE Mini Summit. It was on other stage. We were well represented, not only on the stage, but also outside of it. Many people talk about it. We also had a lot of interest even in new companies to join the project. And this leads to the next point that we are going to have. It's the onboarding session. I already talked with Luis and Mathieu about the date. We have it here, the 4th of November from 3 to 4 CET, and we are going to communicate with the companies that are interested. We have in River, Open Nebula, but also and it is China Mobile also that was interested. So we already have a quorum of some companies. Of course, if people cannot do it, we might do another one in the middle of November to separate the sessions. But we want to aggregate the maximum possible in order to don't do an onboarding session every week, since our agenda is also difficult to compile. So also, if everyone is agree on these dates, we can communicate it officially. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I already sent the placeholder to Luis and Mathieu, and the communication group is also on CC. But I can send to everyone that is here in the meeting, and then I will communicate to the companies. Naomi also very quick also communicated to Open Nebula, but we are going to communicate to Wind River and whoever is interested. And Naomi very quick created an event on Google, so on Google Calendars. We also already have this event in the official format.
Something else for the onboarding session. So I have a link for people who are interested, and I do think I have quite a few people on that list. So that's also going to be an email to them, letting them know that we have a new onboarding session and encouraging them to join. So.
Good.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Andre. Any question, any comment for Workgroup 5?
Yeah, on the side, there is the KubeCon and the Telco Day, perhaps. So Vic can, I don't know if you have some information about the Telco Day, if it will happen first. And the second topic is that during the Workgroup 1, we discussed yesterday about the opportunity to have a CFP commonly about multi-cloud management, a demo on multi-cloud management at the KubeCon in London. So it was a proposal from Red Hat, and Orange was also interested on this. So
okay, we can. Yes.
and there was a question to a Workgroup 5. Something you have to consider. Perhaps is there any other panel we want to propose or to join during the KubeCon?
We need to by order. So in the telco days, it's the dev days that you're talking about, right? The Sylva dev days, or you're talking about telco days on KubeCon?
Yeah, I'm talking about telco days on KubeCon.
So these we need, and I will need here the support with Naomi to understand which panels we can be a candidate. What are the prices on the panels? Normally, you don't pay if you are an eventee invited by KubeCon, but we need to see what we can apply and what will be the price to apply for that. Right, Naomi?
So I think what Guillaume is asking for are speaking sessions, correct, Guillaume? You're asking like should we have people submit to the CFP? The CFP doesn't cost anything. I'll end up dropping the link here. And then I also think we should kind of push this out a little further to just encourage our community members to submit sessions. I do know that panels are really great and more likely to be picked up, especially when you have multiple representatives from multiple companies. I would highly encourage that. So I'll go ahead and I'll send that information to you all. And then the other thing is just that co-located event, which we're already trying to do a joint thing with Red Hat and the other company that Guillaume just noted. But yeah, I definitely encourage submit a CFP just to have a session at least at KubeCon. So I think you all had something in Paris last year too, right? Like somebody had a speaking session.
In Paris, I don't remember, but we had previously on the previous KubeCon. So
Okay.
we want to push.
We get selected for Paris.
No, yeah, we are
We
not.
didn't get selected.
Nope.
Yeah, we proposed.
Okay.
So the plan is to have a demo, technical demo at the KubeCon,
Mhm.
and on the workgroup 5 to study if we can have a panel, perhaps much more on strategy. And Vuk, do you have any feedback if the telco day will be confirmed or not? I have not followed this point.
Actually, just a small recap from what happened this year. So this year we had a Cloud Native Telco Day nominated, as in a couple of previous years. It was at first not selected, and then we kind of reshuffled the things and made it possible to be part of the TSC Cloud Native Telco workshop. But CNCF came back when this was already decided and said, we have a place for you if you want it. So we didn't take this this opportunity as everything was organized. Now I don't have an updated information. What's the current situation? I know that Gergely from Nokia took an initiative to nominate this event not only on the KubeCon upcoming in Europe next year, but also to the Open Source Summit. Whether it's going to be accepted or not, I think I could reach back either via Gergely or via my channels in the CNCF and ask how it looks like. The question is, what do we want? Do we want to stay in CNCF realm, which is not fully anymore or not strongly focused on the telco after we had a migration of the CNF working group from CNCF into Linux Foundation networking, or we want to focus more on another event? Because I think the event, collocated event as such, is an effort to make, also to populate with the content. So if we have them frequently on a couple of occasions, it might be a repetition of the thing. So that's, I think, first thing we should clarify here. Are we aiming which event we want to follow and try to get one to collocate us?
So we were being by Gregory for 4 events. I think we were only eligible for 2 of them. It was the KubeCon in London and the Open Source Summit in Amsterdam in August.
Yeah.
We can do the follow-up because Gregory submitted these in the beginning of the month. I was seeing here the last email. It was on the 1st of October that he submitted our Cloud Native Telco Days 2025. We can get to this topic and see how is the application. Because we had a lot of submissions and they included here all your names. I can paste here the submission that was done on the chat. It was this one here. You have the Google Docs.
I mean, it could be also viable to do both if they are spaced like that, like August Open Source Summit and March, April. So it's like a two per year in Europe, because previously we had the Cloud Native Telco days following also KubeCon North America, but then somehow you have a different audience there. So, but Naomi wants to say something.
Yeah, so the governing board is still finalizing the priorities for 2025, but they have all agreed that we still want to do the Sylva Dev Days or Sylva Mini Summits, and we're going to focus on the Open Source Summit. So Open Source Summit North America and Open Source Summit Europe. So those are probably going to be for sure things. So just wanted to make sure everybody's aware that we are still going to do those probably regardless, because they're also a very low cost to the project. So just wanted to flag that. And like you said, the KubeCon crowd is different than what we get at the open source summits. So I definitely encourage us to have, something in each, rather it be this Telco Cloud Day or a speaking session or something else. I definitely encourage presence wherever we can, because that's what increases visibility. So I don't know how to put my hand down. Oh, I did it.
Okay, and let's think about the demo also to operationalize that. We can do a video, and then we can do some video that is rolling with some parts, and the other one more technical. It works well on these kind of demos. The one more marketish and smaller for the people that are more impatient, and the other one bigger with more technical. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Andre. Any other comment? If not, we can then move to the new workgroup, the workgroup 6, new workloads lifecycle management with GitOps. And yes. I would leave for the first time the floor to Morgan.
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
So
the resources have been created, and we created all the different needed resources, the Slack channel, the mailing list, the agenda is up. The first date for the monthly meeting is planned beginning of November with two topics on the agenda. So this working group for newcomer, and I saw people from Control Plane. So it's really a user group, a GitOps user group. It's a working group aiming to exchange the best practice of telco, leveraging GitOps for their workload management. So CNF test or even infrastructure leveraging GitOps engines. So that's something that initially was kind of bilateral meeting, and we believe that it makes sense to open it and to expose it in order to share with other telcos. So we'll try to address two topics per meeting at the beginning, and we'll see we can have a meeting every 2 weeks if it makes sense. But for the moment, I think once a month is not bad. And the idea is to share the pain, share the concern, and work on eventually some reference implementation if we think that it's possible. So that will be the main goal. So I invite you to join the Slack channel. The mailing lists are already open. Everybody is free to come. As I say, it's a user group, so it's mainly targeting telco team for which GitOps approach is really changing lots of things in terms of organization. So we are about to discuss about these changes, but naturally we will be happy to discuss this with our main vendor, with our provider, infrastructure provider, for everybody. So it's an open group, of course, and we are in an open source community. And so let's see us in beginning of November.
Okay, thank you, Morgan. Any question, any comment?
On the chat. On the chat, Francesco asked to have more information about this workgroup 6.
Oh, no, I just wanted to bring up that I'd love to bring some expertise to the working group 6.
Okay.
Considering the GitOps tenant.
Yeah, for sure. We know that
So
there are several. So as I say, it's a GitOps approach, so it's relatively general, but we already discussed several topics, and yeah, Flux is quite centric. So the new operator that you just deliver, that's kind of sharing and experience. So I think most of us, for example, know for next week because next time the agenda is already booked, and we will see in the governance if we need to have more regular meeting. But for sure, we'll be all, I think, very interested by the new proposal from your company about industrialization of the GitOps operator provided by Flux. So I think these kind of topics could be added for sure to the next agenda.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes, Book.
This just caught my attention. You mentioned the agenda is already full. Is there a place where the agenda is already visible? Because I didn't spot that. Only Slack channel and mailing list.
Okay, so the agenda is in the official agenda. There is a new Git repository for the working group 6 when we discuss the agenda and we'll create the issue. I say it's book, it's not really book. We can add article. It was just we need something to bootstrap, but to have some space for additional topic for sure. But it was just to have something to initiate the discussion. But of course, if you have a topic to bring also on the table, we can have, I think, up to three topics. These ones were the one were mentioned last time, but of course there's some place I can put in the chat the link to the working group, and we'll work with the issue and we'll bring also the agenda. We'll build collectivity's agenda. I mentioned that, so I'm considering myself as the inception lead for that, but of course we could also discuss. There are lots of people from Orange, but we'll be happy to share this working group lead with other actors, and why not new actor joining the community. It will be also a way to involve more telco and more people. So let me put the link.
I would suggest, because I just saw it now when you mentioned, it's actually very fresh, created yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I was relying on the information that was shared in the channels, what's boosted. So maybe when you do another round of communication, you can just update that there is a repo.
Yeah, I plan to do that. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. All good. Perfect.
Okay. Good. I think it's a very good start for this new work group. Any other comment? If not, I think we can then have the update from the HBR activities from VUC.
Yes. Thank you, Carlo. So we are moving, I would say, very fast, and there is a tremendous energy already flowing in that POC activity. That it is already coming to the limits of what that kind of ad hoc POC setup could offer organizationally. I mean. In terms of POC, the validation team and the networking people were tremendous in the contributions and then what they actually been able to test and to validate. We talk about still first phase of the POC, which is proving the routing layer because we don't yet have a network operator integrated with a 6WIN VSR, which is part of the POC. But on that level, it was even more overachieved from what we planned initially. There were a number of additional tests that have been made. All in all, we are moving towards the conclusion on this phase 1 of the POC. Today we had our bi-weekly at 2:00 indicated that we would aim to wrap this part up and prepare a report for anybody who is interested, TSC as well, to present the results and to present the feedback out of participating colleagues. And the indication is already that a lot of potential is seen in the concept. There are also open questions how the migration could look like, what are the preconditions to use that. So it's visible that there is already a lot of flexibility, that a lot of issues that are present in a telco networking could be elegantly addressed by that. Matthew was also today, we had a very brief discussion also about egress and that possibilities, but there is one hurdle which we didn't address in the POC because it was not a POC topic, how the migration towards it would look like. What would the companies who do not have a, let's say, modern layer 3 fabric, could they benefit from it? Could they use it? So there are already further ideas what could be explored, what could be jointly maybe developed. So all in all, as I said, we are looking to make a report on that and to make also a list of what things could be done next, which would then put it in the direction of potentially talking about working group and a more formalized setup in terms of organization, but also in terms of a place to have a code and to work on the code together. So long story short, quite good progress, almost finalizing, and I guess in two TSCs we would probably have the proposal on the agenda and the feedback.
Very good. You mentioned that there will be the possibility to present some of the results to other participants and not that didn't participate directly to the POC. Is something that.
Yes, so we briefly discussed that. One of the things we are expecting to do is to prepare the report for the TSC and present it in TSC. But of course, it doesn't need to be limited to TSC. We could also invite for an open session towards all Sylva participants or the entire Sylva community and present it as an extra slot. So I will make sure to note that and to nominate the topic for TSC.
I think
and
we can do this presentation during a work group 1 meeting.
If it's technical, it will be the appropriate audience.
Is it? I think it would be okay to definitely do it there and make it open if it's fine for other workstream people to take part.
It is.
Okay, perfect.
And the conclusion and recommendation and the next step at the TSC level, yes.
And it makes sense because we recognize that there are, let's say, interdependencies or interrelations in terms of what let's say Sylva core requires or demands from the functionalities and how these things could be delivered by a networking concept like HBR. So looks good. I want to share one more information. It was it's independent topic of what we do here, but we were engaging with entity Docomo for some time, and this week we are going to have some further deep dives. So we are promoting the concept there, and I think I will report about their interest. So there will be a potential POC that they are going to do on their side. But when I know more, I will report here. So that might be a good opportunity to let's say bring them into the discussions here. So just for a transparency reason, it goes in parallel. I know that there are some Sylva Etsy workshop also planned for this week or was already, where same people are participating from Docomo. So I hope we can get them interested and maybe get them in the future as a new participating member potentially.
Good. Very good results. Any question for Vuk? Okay, I think we reached the end of the agenda. And if there are no other topics to be discussed, I think we can close here and have the next update on the next TSC in 2 weeks. So thank you very much. Thank you for the participation.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Speak
Paul.
soon. Bye.